Yeah, it must have been a couple months ago. I received an assignment to go ahead and perform some training at a global organization, and I was very excited. The subject matter was business analysis, and one I really enjoy teaching. I had about 10 or 12 students that were about to become certified, or that was the message I received. And so I finished getting the preparation together, made my way to the organization, set things up, greeted the students, and within about 15 or 20 minutes, I realized that the conditions were totally different. What do I mean? I was under the impression that the students were there to become certified, whereas in essence, all they were really looking for was an introduction into business analysis. I received a slide deck from the organization who hired me, about 300 slides, that were totally worthless. So what do? Well, it was good that I know my way around a little bit with the subject matter, so I was able to go ahead and make some sort of interactive sessions on day one. I think day one went okay. Day two was not necessarily a disaster, but it clearly was not smooth. The longer we went in day two, the more I realized I was losing the students. They didn't feel that they were getting any type of added value from the actual sessions, and I couldn't blame them because I didn't feel that I was actually in a situation to bring them added value. So I was a bit despondent and a bit angry with the company who hired me, because that could have easily been avoided had we known exactly what the students were looking for. But that didn't help me out too much. I needed to come up with a solution. So I went back to my hotel, as mentioned, very despondent, and I'm thinking, what am I going to do? And so I went to bed, and I still didn't have a solution. So I woke up the next morning, and between getting out of bed and going to breakfast, I had my eureka moment. Well, first of all, as I mentioned, it's a global organization, so I made the assumption that they had some sort of strategic objectives that required them to be strong in all markets where they're to be found. And it's typical of the type of sector that they were in, and certainly their position in the global marketplace. So I was basing everything on that premise, and I didn't want to offend anybody, so I made up a country, Noweristan. And so the idea was to make up a country that they would go ahead and prepare a feasibility study of a launch in this new country. Of course, I had a story where Noweristan came from, etc., etc. So I got to the location, and I explained to them Noweristan. Noweristan was a breakaway republic from Kyrgyzstan, just set up, and the idea was to look and see how we can best establish a presence in this new market. They kind of looked at me funny in the beginning, but then they got into it. I also mentioned something else that was very important, and it helped me out immensely. I talked about something that we find in games is called the magic circle. Basically, within the magic circle, you say that nothing can actually happen to you within the magic circle. At the end of the game, you leave the magic circle, and so you could try things out that you perhaps would not necessarily try out in reality. So I mentioned to them about the magic circle and said, "Don't worry, you're in the magic circle. You can try anything you want. There's no right and there's no wrong." And I knew that I hit some resonance there, because I even heard the students later on saying, "Oh, don't worry, you're in the magic circle. Everything's okay." Well, at the end, I was very lucky that it was taken. The exercise was taken very positively, and they clearly found an added value, and I was very impressed with some of the results that the students came up with. And so it was an exciting or a learning experience for me. And then I finally went home. Whirlwind 3 days. The clear message was, even when you think there is no solution, that there always is some solution out there. You just have to be willing to extend yourself and try something new. Clearly, lessons learned for me, one that was positive. Thanks.